Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Bangman.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you. What's the deal with people trying to hide behind this whole thing, this weird idea of like gender? What's the deal with people hiding behind their gender? It's like, I don't know. It's like racism with the ground. We'll go with that. And what I'm saying is like there's stuff that people will like feel like, you know, like there'll be problems. Usually there's some kind of weird like problem that they have. And it's usually something you don't like about themselves, you know, like, having to, like, for, like, guys, I think is a thing where, like, they feel like they have to be all, like, macho and stuff, and they have to be, like, better than women at a bunch of things and shit, and they have to be, like, really strong and all this stuff, and it's you know, something like that, and they think, you know, they have to do this stuff because they're a guy, or, like, that they have to go out and, you know, they have to try and, like, pick up women and, like, stuff, and it's, like, I gotta do it because I'm a guy. That's fucking stupid. And women do the same thing. And for some reason I see them, you know, do stuff like, comes up on Facebook a lot. They'll post, you know, those stupid things with like a saying in them. And it's like, I don't know if it's like a quote sometimes or just like a flat out like some kind of like phrase or saying or something they think they can relate to. And it's like, you know, I know, like, the one, like, I was looking at that really, like, bothered me, like, recently was, like, something about, it said something simple about, like, it's like, well, we're girls, like, we don't like to text you or call you first, because we want to feel like, we want you to do that to us first, so we feel like you want to talk to us, and that, like, the wait was worth it, and we want to feel like, we don't want to talk to you first because then because we don't want to seem clingy or needy and like scare you away, as if like that's just a girl thing, you know, like that's something that like everybody like feels. Like I felt like that a lot, and I was like, oh, am I gonna seem like really like needy for talking to them so much? Am I gonna like annoy them and like drive them away because I'm like an annoying piece of shit? Like everybody fucking feels that way. I don't see why it has to be like such a strict, you know. I feel like people just really aren't looking at it correctly. Like they're just kind of like, oh, it's like it's a girl thing or like it's a guy thing. Like that's fucking bullshit, you know. Like that's it's not even like it's sexist. It's just like stupid. Like the things like, I don't know, like the thing that bugs me a lot too is the way that like I've been noticing when I'm like you'll probably approach something logically, right? Things that make sense, and it's all right, it all makes sense, it's all good and fine, whatever, and you think you got it down, and then like for normal people, that would like calm you down and make you less upset and make you understand things more if it was explained to you in a logical, rational way. It's done. But I've had like sometimes, you know, you're just upset, or you are like in a mood and you don't want to like agree to that right then, so you just be a dick. And the thing is, you don't want to even admit that you're wrong. And I think the thing that happens there is that anybody it happen to anybody, but like with like women, they're like they kind of, instead of just, you know, admitting like later like, okay, I was a dick about it, they'll be like, well, it's a girl thing, you know, like, because, it's like, I guess if that just, like, solves it, you know, like, they don't, like, even explain it further, like, it's just, you have to be a girl to get it. It's like, no, you don't. No, you fucking don't. You have to be a fucking human being to get what you're doing wrong, and if you're not a human being, I guess maybe you don't get it, you know, that'd be like me, like, going out and, you know, like, sleeping with a bunch of women, and be like, and go to a girlfriend and be like, well, look, I had to do it. So coming on to me is and they'll be like, it was a guy thing, and like just like act like you're not even really that sorry. Be like, it's not my fault. It's because I'm a guy. No, like, okay, like, guy thing is like having dick and balls. Okay, that's a guy thing. Guys have those. And girl thing is, you know, with the breasts and the vagina and making babies. Those are things that women do that guys don't get because they don't do them. The rest of the stuff is pretty much just human stuff, and especially the things in your head and the things that the way you act, that's like your brain. It's not really your body. Okay? If your body's in control, you have a really weak brain, you need to get a stronger brain. That's on you. It's not, you can't just like, oh, it's not even my fault. No, it's stupid. And, I don't know. That's just been pissing me off lately. That, I mean, like, it happens all the time, and I understand there's, you know, like, society puts in gender role shit, and there's, like, also cultures will do stuff like that, too, thinking, like, female's gotta be like this, and a male's gotta be like that. And there's history, of course, doesn't do it a lot of justice, but I mean, you'd think that when we're at a place where we like to pretend that we're like above it, we're really not. And it's just annoying that we should either just like stop acting like we don't act like morons about it still, or we should actually act like intelligent people about it. You know, it's crazy. It's like, and what really pisses me off too is that a lot of these people will be like pissed off. You know, like when you act like that way too, and you blame it something on your gender, and then you go around and like blame somebody else and act like it's not, you know, it's not about gender. Like the double standard thing, like, that's stupid too. It's like, and like, I don't know, I've just noticed that happen sometimes with like women will do that. Like, guys will be a fucking moron and be like, well, I had to do that because I was a guy. Because I was a man. And then like the woman will think that it's totally bullshit and stupid because it is, which makes sense and that's smart. And then turn around later and do something ridiculous and be like, oh, well, it's because I'm a woman. You wouldn't get it, you know? And, like, that's stupid. That's not even fair to do. And it's stupid in the first place, so, like, just, like, what's the deal with doing that? Can we just, like, stop that? Can we just stop being like, hey, it's not my fault when it is. Okay, if something happens, you're like, I don't know, someone like, I don't even know what that would even be a problem with. I guess, like, noticing that someone, like, has, like, oh, I noticed this woman had breasts, and be like, it's not my fault, it's a girl thing. Like, that's okay. You know, if you're, like, really angry about them having breasts or something, you're like, what the hell is that? Or you're angry about a guy having a dick, you're like, what the fuck is that thing down there? And you're like, sorry, can't help it, it's a guy thing. Like, you can do that. That works. Fuck. It's just getting tired of it. Not liking it. Think it should go away. Should go the way of that thing that we don't have anymore, but used to, but now we don't. You know the one. Eh?